Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm a couple minutes here early. I jumped in. I basically went back to a very old. That was my very first video that I did to the show. That I did a show. You can see the video was the same as the one I used with Lewis Hanshaw, and I just changed the music out on it. But that one seems to be so much fitting. Everybody is coming together. And that's what we're going to kind of talk a little bit about today. Thank you for joining me. My name is Janine Steffens, and if this is the first time you're here, welcome. And I'm hoping that people will get the notification any minute now and start jumping in here. I'm going to talk about a few things out there. If you're not familiar with who I am, let me just kind of let you know that I kind of talk about current events. People say they're conspiracy theories. I'm conservative, and I don't like to label myself, but we need to move away from that and just kind of all start to get on the same mindset. So this particular time in life, which is the greatest time to be alive and witness everything that's going on, and there's so many other spiritual benefits to that. And I'm seeing them, I'm feeling them, I'm knowing them, and I hope you are also too. And your family is now joining in with you. We're all coming together, as that song was saying, and I was going through and I was thinking, oh, I got to do a new intro. You know, the other one that I had was really good for the times. Now we're in a whole different timeline of events, and I'll probably be creating a new one like that. So I am on Turn the Page 2.0, which is kind of censored because of the name to Turn the Page, and I'm also on TTP Coast to Coastal. And hopefully, I'll be bringing you guys more stuff about the coast and the coastal area, the Gulf Shores, Pensacola, Orange Beach, Dolphin Island, that it's out here. Waiting for things to cool down. Probably do some traveling with a very good friend that I met here who happens to be originally from Illinois as myself. And as everybody is migrating south, right? And there's one of the things I do want to talk about is there's been a lot of talk about crypto. And I'm just going to be finding some articles out there. I don't know a lot about it, and we're just going to see where it's going to take us to. And then worldwide events also, and I'll talk a little bit about health and also about the little ones, or the children, as people refer to them, as the little ones, from censorship. And so yeah, I just also wanted to, and then I see Hula Hoop is out there. If I get a minute, Hula Hoop, I'll throw a link out there if you want to talk about that last text message that you sent me. I don't think I could do it justice. If you have a Hula Hoop, if you have some of the pictures on your computer that you want to share, I'd be glad to talk about that. It was phenomenal what you sent me. So just give it a thought. You don't have to be on camera. Each and every one of you are special in my eyes. Each and every one of you play a part in my movie, if you will. And you, as I may in yours, and I just might be somebody that you look forward to that is a little bit different on social media, if you will. But I come to you with trying to bring you anything that will help you through things. I am getting it's interesting. Probably the last 3 or 4 months, I thought I was losing. Something was going on with me when I was going through my eating better, if you will. I wasn't feeling as intuitive, and I don't know what that was. It was almost like it was a pause for the cause. And then the last 3 or 4 nights, I've been getting a lot of information. It's not that I'm afraid of it. It's just that how it's been coming in. It was almost as if they were waiting for something for me. And so that's where I'm at right now. And I just whether some I used to call it a curse, and a lot of people say it's a blessing in disguise, and that is talking to people on the other side of the veil, if you will. And I've been doing a lot of that lately. And it leaves me in a place of vulnerability in the mornings, because I do this at night, and I would explain a lot more of this to you. I'm always very shy talking about this type of thing, but I'll get to that a little bit later in the show. And hi, Loris is saying hello, beautiful Janine. Hello, beautiful Lori's. So let's just see what's going on worldwide. Let's kind of talk about the CIA has lost Venezuela. If you guys been seeing a lot of stuff out there, out in the news. Venezuela's right-wing opposition in the U.S. media outlet claims there's a fraud in the July 28th election based upon the exit polls done by the U.S. government-linked firm Edison Research. Edison Research works with the CIA-linked U.S. State propaganda organs and was active in Ukraine, Georgia, and Iraq. So more of this is coming from WikiLeaks. This was posted from Shadow of Ezra, and a lot of people say, I just want the truth out. Well, the truth is out. People are giving it to you in different ways and however you receive it, and we can no longer keep saying we just want the truth out. The truth is all over the place. So there you go. Hula hoop, I'll wait. I know that you're probably just driving in your car or something, or just sitting back, relaxing. But I do want, because hula hoop does so much for so many people. And well, I get more people to jump on here. She sent me a text the other day, and I almost missed it. I don't know how that could have been. It's just sometimes I get a lot of texts that flood in, but usually I don't know if I actually clicked on it and didn't actually see it. But so hula hoop, and I'm going to try to share this. I don't have them on my computer, so it's kind of hard, and I will hold my phone up to the camera if you want to see it, but I want to give a little bit of credit because, and also hula hoop, I am so sensitive when I see these pictures. It's, I don't always like to see them, but I'll look at them quickly and go, okay, moving on. What's the next picture? So she sent me pictures that she did 10 hyperbaric sessions with last week. And, maybe she doesn't acknowledge who this person is, so I won't either. I mean, I'm glad she doesn't. They were diagnosed with MCAS syndrome. And I just sent you pictures to your email. Okay, thank you. Yeah, she's right on the ball, I'm telling you. Hopefully my email opens up, because I've got one of those stupid emails that just don't open up, or it bogs down my computer when I'm doing this here. Let's see what we have here. And I think she sent it to TTP Readings. Yes, yes, she did, because it's a different name. All right, I got it. All right, and I'm going to show this to you guys, and then I'm going to get on to the other stuff that I wanted to. But let me just set this up for you guys here. Sorry, this is just how I am. And for her, I adore you people that are nurses and doctors, and all of you that can help people in with the physical. So I don't know what it is. I think it's a Virgo rising. I have no idea, and I get really weird about certain pictures about people that it doesn't look right to me. But that's okay. But once I actually absorb it, I'm all right. So this basically, she's saying that the woman was diagnosed with MCAS syndrome, which I've never heard of. And if she, in hula hoop, if you want to put more information, I'm watching Rumble Rants over there right now. She says, this is why we do what we do. She told us Saturday that when she woke up in the morning, it was the first time in months she felt alive again. So we're so grateful and so blessed. So let me share the pictures with you. This is hula hoop. I have to ask you some questions, and I could throw the link out there if you want, but I got a feeling she doesn't, because let me just share this. So you guys say, shut up, Janine, just share it. All right, here it is. So this is one picture, and I think there were multiple pictures out there. I don't know if she sent them all. Yeah, so there's multiple. There's 4. There's only 4. I'll see if she's got other ones out there. So this is what I'm talking about. The first thing I thought of when I saw this picture, I want to put my hands. I want to do the healing work. That's where I come from. I used to do a lot of body work back in the day of healing people. I didn't heal it. I was just a channel of healing, but that's the first thing I thought of is I want to help heal. So yeah, so this is Hula Hoop said, I don't know what else she wants to say about this picture, but so let me see if there's any other pictures in here. So this is, to me, looks like, and if there's no other pictures in here, it says download all. Just bear with me, you guys. Where am I going to put these? Desktop. Save. Oh, she did. All right, let me just go out there. Let me just get organized here for a minute, you guys. So apparently the next couple pictures is where her legs aren't all swollen. It looks like there might be like a lot of water. A lot of inflammation. Let me just take a look. I wasn't prepared to do this, but I saw her. She jumped in right away. So where is it? Here it is. All right, let's open this baby up here. It's only one. Is it more? All right. Hula hoop. Is there only one picture? Yeah, there's only the one. All right, so you guys got an idea what it is, but in the next pictures that she actually sent over, she said, "I just sent you another one." we're live, people. I'm telling you, we are live. Let's see. That would be. I have 4 emails, so I always have to. No, that's not her. All right, it hasn't come across yet, but let me give it a minute. So let's see here. I don't know if she could tell me something else. Hula hoop, you want to call me? You have my number. I could just put you on speaker and tell us a little bit about it. And you could think about that. You can actually think about it. You have my number because you're texting to me. I could turn the phone up and hopefully everyone will hear that. I just want to know a little bit more about this. And, people, please, if you're struggling with something, is mast cell activation syndrome is a condition. Dragonfly is helping me out here. Thank you, sweetheart. Condition that causes mast cells to release an inappropriate amount of chemicals into your body. Oh, my goodness. This causes allergy symptoms and a wide range of other symptoms. Wow. Wow. So, I'm gonna check the email for the other pictures, and the other picture is important because it's what the legs actually look like after they went through. There it is. Boom, got it. All right, let me open this up, put this over here, blow it up. No pun intention. Let's see, share alike. And I never know which way my show is going to go. I always say I'm going to do one thing, and you guys help me. So wow. Compared to that other picture you guys saw, I don't want to put that other picture up. I like looking at this picture. Let's see here. So if there we go. So this is the work that she is so proud that she's doing, that she's helping people. And this is, oh my God, it's huge. So let me just kind of show this again to you because I do have them in here. Where is hula hoop? Let me just show you again. So she's got, I think, multiple pictures in here. Yeah, this is the one. This is one a little bit different. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys could see that. Only because I've got this other one up, but in any case, you could see. I hate doing this stuff by the phone, but you could see it's. That's just. It's just heartbreaking. Anyways, so hula hoop basically has a hyperbaric chamber healing center, and you name it, she'll help you with it. And I just want to hear the process and what, if it was the same process that we see that she showed us, her and Dr. Ken was a chiropractor, and with the how long do they have to go in there? And then also, did you do the foot detox and so on and so forth? And then you get the results back looking like normal legs. And what did this lady say in the end? Again, she said, I close out all my other things that I have opened. And let's see here. Said she felt alive again, and we're so grateful and blessed to help. Yeah, they definitely. Our legs, right? We have to be able to stand up on our legs to move around and feel alive again. And So she put all that oxygen back into every cell into the blood. I don't know how it's all done, but it's fantastic. So thank you, Hula Hoop. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. And I did want to talk about it. Like I said, I almost missed that text. All right, I'm coming back to you guys. So let me take that off of my screen here and see what else we have going on there. Close out my email. So just was talking a little bit about the CIA and Venezuela. It looks like things are breaking down over there. I want to share. So I'm still doing. Hello, this is Turn the Page.
Hi, Janine. I just wanted to pop in real quick and just give a little more explanation on those pictures.
Okay, hold on a second. I've got to ask everyone, can you hear her? Because I got a whole different mic system now.
Okay.
All right, you guys hear her? So just start talking.
Okay, no, I just wanted to explain. Yes, she actually came to us from Tennessee. Her and her husband came down, and they actually rented an Airbnb for the week. A doctor had recommended hyperbaric therapy. She did some searches. She came down with her husband. She spent the week. She actually did 2 sessions a day. She did one early. We opened up early in the morning because you have to have time between each session because she was having to go to a pretty high pressure. So she needed some lag time between the sessions. So we did one early in the morning and then we did one in the afternoon. And she did that. She did the 10 sessions last week. And for the last 6 months, anytime she goes anywhere, to the grocery store, anything, she would just break out in these hives. She would be in such tremendous pain. She felt, verge of suicidal because none of the doctors could give her any relief. They tried medications and nothing helped. And so, they just, gave it up to God and, said, we got to come see them. And they came down here. And on Saturday morning when she did her last session, she came in and you could tell her and her husband, they were just, because, the first couple of sessions, they were just like, well, we don't think this is going to work. We don't think this is going to work. And then as the week progressed and you could see the hope and everything come back into her eyes, we also, along with the hyperbaric therapy, we did our cold laser therapy in conjunction with that. And before she went into the chamber. So what that was able to do with the cold laser therapy was it started the healing process, started the jump start. Then the hyperbaric chambers took over and just magnified the healing. So it would be, more rapid, more intense. And, so she was just, those are the things that when you're doing this kind of work that just, it makes you jump for joy. Because we do a lot of work where, it's like neurological work. And the neurological work, that takes, a longer time, everybody's bodies are different. And it may take, 20 sessions before somebody with PTSD starts to feel any relief. But, some people it's 3 sessions. So you never know. And those are a lot, you can't visually see those. The parents, especially the young children we've been working with lately, we've got several psychiatrists around Atlanta that have started sending us their adolescent patients. And these adolescent patients, they've got a lot of anger issues. And they're just like all of a sudden striking out and just verbal abusive and just, hitting. And so they're bringing their children and they are just so amazed at how the children are starting to calm down. They're back to where they're wanting to do normal things like reading. When they're doing any kind, because a big tell with a lot of these children is their drawings and their writings is more like real aggravated and just nonsensical. And so now they're going back, and they're the reversion, back to, what they were prior to these outbursts. The parents that, when they come in and they're like, we had a weekend, like we had the little young boy who's 7 years old. His parents came in and they said, we had the best weekend we've had in almost a year.
Wow.
And the family was so happy. The brothers and sisters are so happy. And yeah, so it's just, it's just mind blowing.
What's the name of your center again?
It's Advanced Recovery Therapy Hyperbaric Center, and we're in Marietta, Georgia.
Okay. Do you want to give out your phone number?
Sure. 770-789-6941.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I don't have the website up here. I need to keep that up here from time to time. There you guys go. If you know somebody that I'd never even heard of this, MCAS. I've never heard of it before, but that doesn't mean anything. But it's a mast cell activation syndrome. What do you think causes that?
They say that it is what is the everybody has some kind. It's a big thing now. My mind's gone blank. It is. Your body is actually turning on itself.
Okay.
Your body is just your immune system is being attacked. Your body's just attacking itself.
Yeah.
Is basically it's but like with our center, that's where we're set apart is from the hospitals and everything and the normal. That's if you find a hyperbaric center in your area and you have any concerns, just give me a call and I will tell you what you need to be looking for, because there are a lot of chambers out there that are soft-sided chambers. They are not the medical grade. They are not the acrylic, and they cannot reach the pressures that you need to reach, and you're not getting the purity of oxygen that you need in order for your body to start healing. Because you've got to have that purity of that oxygen. It just can't be any old oxygen. We can test our oxygen, so we know exactly what the purity of our oxygen is. And we do a non-rebreather mask where you're not breathing in the atmosphere of the chamber the vessel that you're being pressurized in. Because that's where a lot of them go wrong, is they pressurize with oxygen and you're breathing in that oxygen you're being pressurized with. Yes, they are venting it to keep the pressure to be able to keep the pressure at that certain level. And, but you're breathing in everything you're exhaling. So you don't know exactly what you're getting with our non-rebreather masks and with our delivery system. And there's a few around the country that do it like us. That delivery system, you are breathing in that 100% oxygen, and we can actually go to the panel and I can test it and I can tell you exactly what you're breathing through that tube.
Wow. This is phenomenal. We got to have you and Dr. Ken on here, especially with the children. I know that you're going to be so busy, and you've got your whole family, the first your generation, your children, and then probably, more people coming in to help. But thank you so much, Hulu. This is unbelievable. You guys share this information, because you might know somebody out there that will be stubborn as kind of like these people. They didn't have a lot of hope until they started to see it 2 or 3 days. But you got to give everything a chance. You can't just think that there's a magic wand out there. And if you're looking for an MB, a med bed, this is it. And you know. So, anyways, thank you, Hula Hoop, so much.
You're welcome, calling. And I love everybody. And if you have any questions about any concerns of any medical condition you may have, just give me a call. Yeah, I'll help you. I'll help you out any way that I can.
Because we need to get healthy for what we've got coming. Thank you, Hula Hoop. I love you so much.
Okay, love you too.
Bye-bye. All right, you guys. Let's see if I got to hang up. Okay, she hung up. All right, so there you go. And then I think I just got a message from Kristen out there. So I'll take a look at that and let's see here. I think I stopped sharing when I wanted to. So speaking of Kristen, I appreciate hula hoop so much, you guys. You won't believe it. So Kristen and I are going to be doing a show on Sunday, and I do believe that is a new moon or full moon. I'm not sure where we're at with that. She knows more of that stuff. All I know is that I'm being a Pisces. I can feel things. I can sense things. I can tell you where they're coming from. I trace them back. And so she says hot topics and spirituality. So probably current events also, too. I can't wait to get back and doing some of these shows with her. And I'm so grateful that she asked me to come back and do some shows. I love her energy. I love the way that we just like have fun and laugh. And that's what this is all about. So you guys take a look for this on Sunday, and I hope to see you guys there soon. So yeah, so there's just so much that is coming out there. And I'm sorry I didn't put her number up there, but she did say if you want to go back and watch this recording in the beginning, there's so many people out there that are not feeling well, and you've got to start somewhere. Don't be afraid to make a phone call. It's not going to cost you anything. And when Hula Hoop is talking to you, she makes you feel so good, because I had to experience that by calling her up one time in a lot of pain. And, you know, it was probably the worst thing that I had gone through in years, since my appendix exploded about 4 or 5 years ago. But anyways, so what I've basically been, kind of go back to spirituality thing. I'm kind of want to stay within the spirituality things right now. Yeah, so things have been popping into my head out of nowhere, right? And I've been doing kind of like what a medium has been doing. I've got these very strong telepathic thoughts, and a lot of them may not be my own, but they seem to be coming in very strongly now. For whatever reason, I'm being asked to either help people out, or just get this information, maybe even working with Kristen. I don't know what the outcome is, but I know that I'm feeling I'm getting the messages loud and clear. And it's unbelievable. So if you are actually looking to do readings, I don't always tell you that I'm doing the readings, but I feel very strong and very good in the energies. I don't like doing a lot of the readings on social media and influence, because of the energies that interfere. And they're completely different when we do one-on-one, and we don't have to be in front of a camera or anything like that. But just go to my website, which is turnthepage.social, if you're interested, if you're struggling with something. And let me just tell you this right now. Stuff that is coming up right now are the things that you've got to let go of. And I know this for a fact. We've been carrying around illusions, and it's very ironic, if you will. And these illusions that we're starting to see outside of ourselves, but we have to take a look at the illusions that are going on within ourselves. So that's Colleen is saying, let me just put this up there. The energies hit me hard yesterday. I slept for 12 hours. I haven't been able to sleep, although 3-4 days back. Yeah, 3 evenings back, I was up all night. And then it seems like at a certain time, I fall asleep and I go into a really deep sleep. Now, let me kind of explain to you what actually happens with me. And it could, and I worry about this hula hoop, because I think that I'm getting a lack of oxygen. Is it a sleep apnea or whatever it is? And I've had it for years. And actually, the very first time I was rushed to the hospital in 2006, my gallbladder exploded, if you will. That's the way that they said it. It just, whatever happened to my gallbladder. And the nurses came back and said, you left us for a little bit. And I was like, what do you mean? My nephew came over to me and says, apparently you died on the table, is what they say. Because I don't believe any of that. Do you believe any of that? Well, when I was coming out of it, of course, they had people monitoring me, and I couldn't figure out why they were there. And I woke up happy as can be. I was just very giddy by myself. But while I was waking up, it was almost as if the whole room, I was like in a dark tunnel. I remember that. And then the walls would start to come back in. And I'm not crazy or anything like this. Well, this is what's happening again to me, is that I'm starting to know that I'm communicating with others on the other side. And I did a lot of this when I was a lot younger. And I'm not sure why it's returned, but it has. And it's just when you're in the energies, as I was with the energies of my loved ones who have passed on, and then you wake up, you're kind of in a spot. It's like you're mad, you're angry. I'm feeling the emotions from it this morning right now, and it's almost as if, God, I miss my sister, my mother, and then obviously the way that this movie was being played out was with a childhood friend who I know is still alive, which gave me more concern. And it was someone that was very close to my sister who was passed on, and what we were doing. I won't go into details with that, but I was there. I was fully there, and I was fully aware of everything that was going on. And then all of a sudden, whenever somebody says something to me, yeah, it's almost as like I was in two worlds, right? I was in a world thinking that they were alive with me, and then all of a sudden I realized somebody has passed on. And that's what always wakes me up is I come out of it very quickly. And then the room starts to come into focus. It's very dark, and then it comes into focus. And I always thought, oh my God, I must have sleep apnea. I'm not breathing at night and all this stuff, right? But there were messages there. There were messages there, and it affects me for about a couple, 3 or 4 hours in the morning. And my husband looked at me and said, "What happened?" I said, "I had dreams about people that are no longer here." And he goes, "Well, I hope I wasn't in it," because he's having health issues right now. And I said, "No, you're not." And so I couldn't shake it. I just couldn't shake it. So went back and I sat down and I just said, what is this all about? And I know what it's about now. It's just kind of, I had to pull myself together. So there are essences of myself that are still out there. And so how I actually pull myself together, and there's some information maybe that you guys need to hear also, is you just sit with your feet on the floor, grounded outside, wherever that you are, barefooted, and you just basically demand the essences of yourself to come back. And when you're not fully there, as you're bumping into doors, your shirt gets hooked on a cabinet doorknob or something like that. You're not totally in focus, if you will, and that's the best way to say it to you. So I just wanted to share that with you because for whatever reason, the energies are really shifting right now. Let me just see what Kimmy says out here. Yes, I've been so tired that I'm not able to keep my eyes open the past week. I do fine. I'm in, but after lunch, yeah. And so we are all doing, our work, our job. If you took a look at my thumbnail, it's like, I think what was the thumbnail saying, kind of like on the lines of, I'm not coming back to do this thing again. I don't, this is unbelievable, right? That the time that we are in right now. And let me just say this also to you, that each and every one of you are doing something on some level, whether you believe it or not. Each and every one of you agreed to be here. And then there's the ones that are a little bit more outstanding, the spiritual ones that are really have worked on themselves their whole life and, think that they have to continue to work on themselves. Please stop it. Just stop saying I'm not good enough, because that's what you say. I got to keep working on myself. You're just saying I'm not good enough, and you are good enough. And we're here, and we've been on this journey all together, and things are going to start coming stronger and stronger and faster for each and every one of us. And thank you, Kimmy. Kimmy is saying, I love Kristen and you together. Yeah. We've done this before, you guys. We've gone around in another time with this. And so, so that's one of the things I wanted to share with you guys. So I'll be doing a show on Sunday with Kristen, and let's see here. What else I want to talk a little bit about. I follow this one particular gentleman, and I'll get over to the geopolitical stuff after the spiritual stuff, but I'm kind of in this right now. And then I got Sunny Ma out there. Says, my mom was told by many, I don't tell you, don't tell if you dream about me. Oh. My mom used to do the same thing, Sunny Mom. So my mother, after we were all grown in our early 20s and late 20s, she decided, I raised my children, I'm moving to Arizona, and I would constantly had dreams, and they weren't good dreams about it. She knew I was a big dreamer. I get a lot of things through my dreams. A lot of information. And I used to keep a journal and stuff like that. And I don't anymore. And so one time I called up my mom and I said, "Hi, Mom, how are you doing? Is everything okay?" And I kept asking her, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And she said, "What happened? What did you dream?" And it wasn't a very good dream. But then she said, I'm fine. And that's how Mom was. But then she would say, as time went on, you were right. She always says, you would say to me after the fact, right? Like one time I was, helping her. I wanted to help her in her home, and I said, Mom, that's too high. I don't want you up on a stool to do that. This is when she was older, right before she had passed. And she says, "What do you mean?" She was a feisty little Italian woman. I could do anything a tall person could do. I said, "If you're going to fall." And so then time went by, and she said, "I got to tell you, I did fall." And I was like, "See, Ma, geez, that kind of thing." You kind of try to warn them, and they don't want to hear the negative stuff. But if you get hits of information, just share it anyways. So that's where we're at right now. Yorkie fam says, I don't like my dreams. They're not pleasant. They're trying to tell you something. Just read between the fears. And the pleasant stuff is the fear. And that's all. That picture there that you've got, Yorkie fam, cracks me up. Yeah, so you just put aside the other stuff and you kind of read between the lines like we're doing right now with everything that's going on. It's all a shit show. It's all a movie. In time we'll be able to see through everything and anything. What is Lori saying here? Spiritual note. My dog gave me 5 newborn kitties from the garage. Your dogs gave you 5. What? Oh, did they bring them from someplace? Is that what you're saying? All right. Sonny Ma says, my husband passed suddenly a year ago. Our son just had a great dream. His dad said, I feel great. And they do. That's the problem. They don't worry. There's nothing going on the other side of the veil. It's us. It's all us. And that's part of incarnating into this body and eliminating fear. And that's one of the things we have to do is to eliminate the fear. Let me just kind of play this here. I'm kind of getting long in the tooth here. And I just want to share this with you. So this is Rick, R-I-K. I follow him all the time. And let me make sure my sound is up so you can hear him.
Like I said, is in alignment with the nodes of fate. So the sun is trying the north node of destiny, sextile the south node. So like I was saying before, it's just a fateful week ahead where whatever you're focused on could have a connection to your future, especially in passion, creativity, individuality, what you want for your own personal freedom and independence, but also connected to relationship activity with Libra over here. So it's basically just showing that our focus is in alignment with fate in the future and the past, the self and others on Wednesday, but consider it kind of all week long.
All right, there you guys go. And so, watch your thoughts. Whatever you're manifesting today, if you're one that truly believes in manifesting and it'll be carried out, this is a very powerful week, even though you may or may not believe it. But I just wanted to share that with you. I see MJ Truther is out there. Hello, MJ. Yeah. So what else do we have going on? It sounds like we've got a storm brewing here. Let's see here. What else do I have? Oh, okay. So, this is a little bit, I'm going to switch probably to the geopolitical stuff here for a minute. I just want to share a couple of fun things with you guys. Oh. We stand as one. We will not be broken. We'll overcome. This is our battle. So what this basically is that he is showing you that there are Black people. I don't know where this is at, where the location is or anything like that. But he was just kind of panning around and showing you there is not just the white people that's rooting for Trump. They don't not all going for heels up Harris, if you will. Let's see. Yorkie says, thank you, Janine, and excited for your show and Kristen on Sunday. And I hope you're going to be there. Yeah, definitely. I don't know the time. So just go over to her channel, subscribe to it, and you'll be notified. Trump is late as usual today. I didn't know what time is he? He is back in PA, I do recall. Let me just see what else did I have out here for you guys. I don't want to show that. All right. Now there's a lot of talk about the Brunson. Have you guys heard about that? And everyone else said when the Brunson came out, if anybody's got any information, but this apparently is in the Supreme Courts again, and they're thinking that it's gonna. Somebody's stating that it's there. It's gonna be present all the way until the end of August. I don't know about that. I'm just finding stuff out there. What do you guys think? You tell me what your thoughts are on that. And let's just if you guys are big YouTube people, you may have seen this, but I want to share this with you.
Now it's time for a little segment we like to call
Whoa.
Only in America.
That's not the one. It jumped ahead on me. Gosh darn it. Let's see if I can go back and get it.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straightening the curves, flattening the hills. Someday the mountain might get 'em, but the law never will. Making their way the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law will allow. Just a good old boy, wouldn't change if they could. Fighting the system like a true modern day Robin Hood.
Yeah. So there you guys go. And the best part of all of that one was Boss Hog is Hillary, right? What'd you guys think of that one? You may have seen it out there. I wanted to share it with you. A little bit of fun stuff here. What else do we have going on out there? So I guess there's a Q drop. Like I said, I'm not real big on it, but I don't mind mentioning them. So it says happening, the Hill verified accounts at the Hill Trump rally attendees hold up signs linked to infamous conspiracy theory 17 times, 17 times, 17 times. The world is about to change. This is where I'm going with you guys. We are right at the precipice of the change. Let's see what we have here. Laura's is saying, yeah, the good old boys. You better believe it. Each and every one of us do carry our armor. We don't have to put it on, as Dee Fletcher mentioned to us one time. Let's see what else we have out here. I wanted to, oops, I didn't want to show that. That is my PowerPoint. Don't save. Okay, all right. All right, let me stop sharing because that is the end of my videos for this one here. So just kind of want to talk to you guys a little bit. I'm going to go back to the spirituality things. There are a lot of signs out there, and stay in touch with these signs if you're getting hints of information, because everybody's getting messages right now, and that's really what I wanted to talk about to wrap up the spirituality stuff. All right, and I'm going to go back and talk about the Brunson that I actually showed there. So did the Supreme Court extend the session until July and possibly August? And then if you go out and ask a question on AI out on X, this was the answer that came back. Well, it seems like the Supreme Court justice might need to swap their robes that they wear for some sunscreen and flip-flops because according to the information provided, they are working overtime. The Supreme Court has indeed extended its session into July to wrap up some of the important matters, probably because they didn't want to leave any of the cases hanging like a cliffhanger in a TV series finale. They've been very busy log cutting content, issuing opinions, handling emergency applications, even after their summer recess. But here's the kicker. They might just keep the party going into August. That's right. The courts could be working on opinions during the dog days of summer. So while most of us are sipping lemonade and lounging by the pool, the justice might be sipping legal briefs and lounging in their chambers. In conclusion, the Supreme Court has extended its session into July and possibly into August for opinions, making the summer SCOTUS instead of the summer of love. That's just a little bit of information that came from AI. I don't know how far that you actually want to take that over to that, but let me just see. What else is going on here. MJ is calling. She calls Heels Up Harris, Love Couch Cushion Camellia. All right, what do you guys? Let's see here. Melisanda or Mary says hi, Janine. All here had an amazing show going about Venezuela. That's why I'm late. Okay, so when is Trump coming on? I didn't know that he was coming on here. Come on, I hate when it does it. It's all locked up. Don't save. All right, good. Get me some of my memory back here. All right, so let's see what else do I have out here. Anybody out on Rumble Rant that has anything that they want to contribute, please do so. I always like checking my bookmarks. I have things that I say, but then they never apply. So there's a lot going on in Chicago right now, and a lot of people are actually asking for Trump to make. Wow, that's thundering loud. To make a presence in Chicago. They want Trump to walk the streets with him. Oh boy, that's a big demand there. So Trump, to address the problems of blacks facing in Chicago today, they're asking for his help. And let me just play this one video here for you guys. And let me move it over.
And the mayor and
Sorry about that. Let's see if I can shift it. Well, I guess I got to move the whole thing. All right, let's see here. And this is important. This is really important. This is only showing you that they don't trust the current administrations anywhere in the United States right now. And if they're asking this question, they really want help. Now, where's the sound?
20 buses a day, 1,000 more per day. Why would they be doing this? And what's your message?
the only reason that I can see that they would be doing this is to replace us. And we say Trump 2024 because Trump is the only one who's going to do something about this and partner with all of America. This is where all of America has got to come together and put a stop to this. We have to send these people back where they come from, or this is going to explode violently. It's going to explode on multiple fronts. And the mayor and this governor doesn't care. And since they don't care, then we must go red. We must link up with all of America. And we care, and we have to do something about it. We come for every elected official that didn't step up, and all those that supported this mass, wipe out of our communities. We coming for you. By the time Trump gets ready to run in November, Chicago is going to look like a sea of red. When that Democratic National Convention get here, you're going to see so many red T-shirts that you're going to think you're in Texas.
Enough is enough. We just can't give it away to foreign nationals. No other country's going to allow us to come in and do the same thing that's happening here. You have American citizens of African American descent that have built this country and built the great city of Chicago. They are the broad shoulders that built this city, and they are being disrespected by the Biden regime, the entire Uniparty, the globalists, because now they're forcing illegal alien invaders into a city that doesn't have the resources to care for its citizens in healthcare, in education, in police protection, in economics, in anything. And now they have to bear the brunt to it. And the two guys, these progressive whites that run this deal, are too gutless to have them in there, just like they're not in the Upper East Side of New York or the Upper West Side. They're not out by Northwestern University.
It's something in their minds that makes them believe that they'll do this to us and we do nothing in return. This is not just for Chicago for us. We've reached all across the country to send them a message. We're going to flip America red. We're going to send the strongest message.
Okay, so it's almost like a repeat. And I'm just going to cut over to something that's breaking right now that you guys are notifying me about, and hopefully this will work.
Mr. President, we so appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe Black district attorneys You've attacked Black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking Black supporters to vote for you, why should Black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the Black population of this country. I've done so much for the Black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for Black workers and Black entrepreneurs. I've done so much. And, you know, when I say this, historically Black colleges and universities were out of money. They were stone cold broke. And I saved them and I gave them long-term financing and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late, just so we understand. I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working or something was
Mr. President,
wrong.
I would love
I think
you
it's
to
a
answer the
very
question on
nasty
your rhetoric
question.
and why you
I have
believe that
answered the
Black voters
question.
should trust you with another
I
4
have
years.
been the best president for the Black population since Abraham Lincoln.
Better
That's
than
my answer.
better than President
That's
Johnson
my
who signed the
answer.
Voting Rights
And
Act.
for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace.
Let me just ask a follow-up, sir, and then we'll move on to other questions here. Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first Black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
Diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
Give me a
literally the
definition then.
words.
Would you give me a definition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a definition.
Sir, I'm asking you a question, a
You
very
have to
direct
define
question.
it. Define it for me if you
I
will.
just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a Black woman?
Well, I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was Black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn Black, and now she wants to be known as Black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she Black?
She has always
But you know
identified
what?
as a Black
I
woman. She went to a
respect
historically
either
Black
one.
college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a Black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do
And
you
I
believe that
think
she is?
somebody should look into that too when you continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some
I really
Republicans
don't
have
know.
said?
I mean, I really don't know. Could be. There are some, and there are plenty. I know this lady right over there, Harris, is a fantastic person who just interviewed me at length. And we had a great interview, I think, and I heard you got very good ratings on that.
Well, you told me it was the longest one of your life, so we had a good discussion. Look, I want to talk about why you're here today. I mean, it is not lost on us how divided we are as a country. And as you were coming today, we really got to see that we are divided along the lines of race, along the lines of gender. And there is this question of, in this moment where we are, why come here? What is your message today?
My message is to stop people from invading our country that are taking, frankly, a lot of problems with it. But one of the big problems, and a lot of the journalists in this room I know and I have great respect for, a lot of the journalists in this room are Black. I will tell you that coming from the border, are millions and millions of people that happen to be taking black jobs. You had the best.
What exactly is a black job, sir?
A black job is anybody that has a job. That's what it is. Anybody that has a job.
All right.
And
Mr. President,
they're
can I-
taking the employment away from black people. They're coming in, they're invading. It's an invasion of millions of people, probably 15, 16, 17 million people. I have a feeling it's much more than that. And everybody's been seeing what's happened. The first group of people, the black population, is affected most by that. And Kamala is allowing it to happen. She's the border czar. She's the worst border czar in the history of the world. There's never been a border czar like this. She's never even essentially been. She said she was there once, but not the right part of the border. So she was a border czar. She's done a horrible job. These people are coming into our country, and they're taking black jobs and Hispanic jobs. And frankly, they're taking union jobs. Unions are being very badly affected by all of the millions of people that are pouring into our country. And one thing, as we discussed, many of these people are coming in from mental institutions, from prisons, from jails. They're gang members in other countries. Other countries are setting loose their prisoners. They're opening up their prisons and their mental institutions, and they're taking their bad people, drug dealers, gang members, and they're bringing them into the United States. And by the way, their crime rate is going down, and our crime rate is going to be a disaster.
Mr. President, I want to get into how you address some of the issues with black communities. And I say that plural because we live in communities of color that are different. We're not all the same. We don't vote the same. We don't think the same.
Sure.
It's not monolithic. So as you come here today, I want to talk about something that bursts. And this is the weight of the inflation on this country right now. The nonprofit Money Management International recently released data from its mid-year analysis that we have found a 52% rise in people who are seeking counseling for being in credit debt. They're paying for food that is sky high on their credit cards, and now they can't pay that off. The credit counseling nonprofit MMI, as I said, is saying now that they've seen surges that they haven't seen since we were in a pandemic of people in financial trouble. Much of that falls on the shoulders of single moms, single black moms. When you look statistically, how do you turn it around? What's your plan for the black community when it comes to money?
So, first of all, it's very hard to hear you for whatever reason because of the fact that they have bad equipment. Because I guess these families aren't able to get the right equipment. But it's very hard for me to hear you. But I can hear every other word. It's very difficult, actually. But so I don't know if they can fix it or do something with it. But I'll do the best I can with it. The inflation is absolutely destroying our middle class, our working class, virtually every class. Inflation is a disaster in our country. Inflation is a country.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of come back to you guys here for a minute, and I wasn't planning on doing this, but it just rolled out. The people in Chicago were asking him to come, and he's there now. I have 55 years being born in Chicago, Chicagoland area. I'm no longer there for obvious reasons, and he's talking about it. Now they are, when they call for him to come out there is because they are at their wits' end and they don't want, I believe, a civil war out there. And I know what the people will do in Chicago and take things into their own hands. So I'm coming up on the hour here. I just wanted to share this with you guys. Let's see what else he has to
Our
say.
community probably as much.
So what do you do?
Than any
What's your plan?
You know what we have to do? We have to bring down the cost of energy, and that's going to bring down the cost of inflation. This was all started with a bad energy policy by Joe Biden. By the way, just if I might, I was running against a man named Biden. You probably saw that. And he was losing very badly in the polls. And then he had a rather bad debate. I would say it was a bad debate. I would say it was one of the worst debates in history. And his poll numbers crashed. And instead of saying, let's keep going and maybe something happens the other way, they said, oh, we're going to replace him. Let's just replace him. That's like you're in a fight. A prize fighter's in a fight. He's not doing well. You say, let's bring in another fighter. So our whole campaign was steered toward him. And now we have to steer toward him. But ultimately, it's the same because they have bad policy. They have policies of open borders, unbelievable open borders, horrible energy policies. They want to get rid of, as you say, gasoline in cars. They want to get rid of oil. They want to get rid of efficient efficient heating,
Mr. President.
environmentally, what they're doing is killing our country. They're absolutely destroying our country. But the inflation is the thing that's hurting the black worker, the black population, and every other population within our country. Inflation is the worst it's been, I think, in over 100 years. And they'll fact check it. They'll say it's only 58, whatever it may be. They don't add all the numbers. They don't add the really bad numbers, and you can check that too. But inflation, Harris, is absolutely destroying this country and the people in our country. Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
President, can I ask you another question
Yes,
that is also impacting Black Americans?
And that's very clear now.
I'm sorry?
It's very clear. I hear you.
Okay. So Sonia Massey, someone from Illinois, an unarmed Black woman, was shot the other day in her home by a deputy sheriff. The deputy has since been charged with murder. You said police would get immunity for prosecution if you win. Why should someone like that officer have immunity, in your opinion?
Immunity?
Immunity.
I don't know the exact case, but I saw something, and it didn't look good to me. It didn't look good to me. Are you talking with the water, right?
Yeah, well, police unions are not backing this person
Okay.
either. But again,
They're
why
gonna,
would,
they're going to be charging the officer. I guess they're charging the officer.
so why should he receive immunity?
Well, he might not. I mean, it depends. It depends on what happens. I'm talking about people that are much different cases than that. We need people to protect ourselves. And by the way, in Chicago, as an example, a few weeks ago, July 4th weekend, they had 117 shootings and 17 deaths. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. We need to have our police officers have the respect and dignity back. In this particular case, I saw something that didn't look good to me. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
So can you get a little more specific back to the immunity question? Who would make those changes?
Well, right now,
Well, all right. So I see you guys are all out there, and this is great that people are paying attention to it. MJ Truther says sleeping with a black married man doesn't make you a black Camilla. Let's see here. Yeah, he's right. He started out in the beginning. He just basically said, if you guys are just tuning into this, she was Indian. Now all of a sudden she's black. You know, she sold her soul is what this character is. Also, too, I think it was Pocahontas 7 said there was no gold on our beautiful flags. Somebody please remind me, what does the gold flags mean? And they kind of looked a little wrinkled, but yeah. So they're saying no gold fringes, no maritime law. So what does that mean? Answer that to you guys in your own words out there. What does that mean? He's in control. We're in control. Who's in control here? I want to see what you guys are thinking. Yeah, it means that MJ Truther says it means that we are captured. The gold fringes as what? As the gold fringes. It means that we are captured the gold fringe. You know, I'm so confused. Somebody call me. Who has ever got my phone number and talk to me about this? Because it's never made sense to me. I see a lot of flags out there. Is mine behind me doesn't have any gold fringes, and then I see a lot wherever Trump is at has the gold fringes. So, beautiful correction. Colleen, thank you, Colleen, my sister. Back to the land of the law. So if there's no gold fringes, it's back to the land of the law. With or without, somebody call me. Colleen, you've got my phone number. Check your last email. All right, let's see. If anybody wants to call me, please do. Let's kind of talk about this because I want to get through this confusion. It's always been, I couldn't, it shouldn't be that difficult, and I shouldn't be this confused. So let's see here. It says Mary is saying, as far as I heard, Camel Toe was born and raised in Jamaica. Yeah, she is Indian also. One parent was Indian, one was Jamaican, but I don't know. So the gold fringe stands for We Are Captured. All right, let's see here. Military Mom 2013 for the Republic by which we stand, common law. Constitutional Republic time from Sunny Ma. Military Mom says, she already read that. MJ says, I'll call you later. You know what that means? She ain't going to call me. That's okay. That's fine. Let's see here. What else do we have? Exactly. Without the fringe, we are back to the land of the law. All right. So I guess it's just a wording and how anybody does that. All right. So let's see what else we have here. I'm going to go back and just listen a little bit more.
Do you agree with him?
No, I know this. He is very family oriented and he thinks family is a great thing. That doesn't mean he thinks that if you don't have a family, it's not. I know people with families. I know people with great families. I know people with very troubled families. And I also know people with no families that didn't meet the right person. Things happen. You go through life, you don't meet the right person.
But he's not just talking
Excuse
about
me.
families here.
And
He also
some of
says that
those
people that
people-
don't have children should get less votes than
That's
those
all
that
right.
do.
I'm just speaking for myself.
that your
and I
campaign
think I'm
position?
speaking for him too.
Who's this
Strongly
bitch?
believes in family, but I know people with great families. I know people with not great families that don't have a family. And the people without the family are far better. They're superior in many cases, okay? He's not saying they're not. What he's saying is that he thinks the family experience is a very important thing. It's a very good thing. But that doesn't mean that if you grow up and you grow older and you don't meet somebody that would be wonderful to meet and would have been good, that's a bad thing. He's not saying that. My interpretation, you'll have to ask him actually, but my interpretation is he's strongly family oriented, but that doesn't mean if you don't have a family, there's something wrong with it.
Just
Mr.
one last
President?
point, and then we'll move on. Just one of the bedrock principles of American life is one person, one vote. Senator J.D. Vance has suggested that someone who has children should have more votes than a person who does not have children. I just want to be clear here. Is that the position of your campaign?
Well, no, but it's not something I have ever heard before. I can tell you this. Right now, you have illegal aliens coming into our country, many from prisons and many from mental institutions, and they want to give them votes. I don't think they should have votes. They came into our country illegally,
People
and
who
they're
are only
taking the
American
vote away
citizens
from
are
all
allowed
of the
to vote,
people
sir.
in this room that have been here a long
Okay, we kind of heard a lot of this already. I'm actually, I think it was somebody out there that just basically told me look up etiquette of flags, which I am doing right now. Flag etiquette in the U.S. Flag Code. Nowhere in here does it talk about a gold fringe, unless I am totally missing it. So basically, they're saying when should an American flag be displayed? How should the American flag be displayed? Should it be raised or lowered? Can the flag be used as drapery or covering? You know, what do you do when it touches the ground? I've always heard that one. You know, how should a flag be displayed in procession or in a parade? The front of the center of the line. Can a flag be used for advertising purposes, which it should never, in my eyes? Do's and don'ts of the American flag when displaying the flag. Here's all the do's and don'ts. I don't see anything about gold fringe. That's why I was always questioning why people had to notice the gold fringe. And unless you guys have something, I am looking up, it was MJ Truther said, look up flag etiquette. And this is the this is the military.com site. And I'm going to keep going here. It says, don't let it touch the ground, don't let it get dirty, don't use it as a cover. And that was basically it. So again, you know, if somebody wants to send me a link, please do so, because this is what I'm looking at here. I'm going to go back to that, what he's actually saying here, see if there's anything else.
Yale Law School, was one of the top students, became the head of the Law Journal. I mean, it's an amazing thing. He's a 4-year, he was in the military with great distinction for 4 years, got out, went into business, became successful in business, very successful in business, actually, did public offerings and other things. And I have to believe in that. I mean, he's somebody that was born in a rough situation. Most of the people know that situation because it was very well documented in his book. And I have a lot of respect for somebody that can get into Yale and become one of the best students in Yale, that meets a young woman at Yale who was also outstanding.
Okay, so I'm just going to I'll let this continue playing here, but yeah, he's just kind of doing this thing here, right? So let's see here. Military mom says, for republic by which it stands, it's a common law. They hate the nuclear family, father, mother, children, says military mom. The family unit, yeah, they're destroying it. So Yeah, so MJ, I can't grab this. I'm probably going to have to go to YouTube to try to get it. I use StreamYard. I can't grab the link, but you guys can all grab it. I put it up there. MJ provided. She says it's a short little video. Think mirror what it says. The gold fringe means the Constitution is suspended. The Constitution is suspended. Um, I'm always looking to see whether or not it has that on there. Thank you, Colleen. So let's see here. If MJ, if you could put it out on Rumble, I'm live on Rumble now. I could probably grab it from there. But these are. It says he says the fringe is decorative. Okay. So there we go. I think we're clear on it now.
To choose for vice president.
Yeah.
And you said normally it really wouldn't matter what they would bring. You choose somebody that you think has a future, that sort of thing. But you said these words 3.5 hours before an attempted assassination on your life. You told me that bad things happen, Harris, and that's why this decision is important this time. Bad things happen. You said it twice. When you look at J.D. Vance, is he ready on day one?
Does he what?
Ready on day one, if he has to be.
I've always had great respect for him, and for the other candidates too. But I will say this, and I think this is well documented. Historically, the vice president, in terms of the election, does not have any impact. I mean, virtually no impact. You have 2 or 3 days where there's a lot of commotion as to who, like you're having it on the Democrat side, who it's going to be. And then that dies down, and it's all about the presidential pick. Virtually never has it mattered. Maybe Lyndon Johnson mattered for different reasons of what we're talking about, not for vote reasons, but for political reasons, other political reasons. But historically, the choice of a vice president makes no difference. You're voting for the president, and you can have a vice president who's outstanding in every way. And I think JD is. I think that all of them would have been. But you're not voting that way. You're voting for the president. You're voting for me. If you like me, I'm going to win. If you don't like me, I'm not going to win.
I'm going to get my JD Vance question in.
JD Vance?
I'm going to get my JD Vance
Sure.
question in. To your point and to Rachel's point, he, has a lot of opinions about childless women like myself or divorced people like yourself. Do you think?
What an idiot!
I mean, my
But
point
at
is
least
here.
it was said in a friendly manner.
My point is, do you think the Republican Party is getting a little bit too judgy about people's lives when you think about abortion or when you think about what J.D. Vance is saying?
I don't think, look, I think that the Democrat Party is really the one that has the problem. I think they're radical on abortion because they're allowing abortion in the 9th month. They're allowing the
But
death,
I think it's
they're
about
allowing
freedom,
the
right?
death of a baby after the baby is born, based on
Sir, that's
governor
illegal
of Virginia.
in every state in the country.
based on the governor of Virginia.
Executing a
They're
baby
allowing
in
the
every
death
state
of
in
the
the country
baby
is illegal.
after it's born. They're
It's a
allowing
crime.
abortions in the 8th and 9th month.
Well, Democrats have denied.
These people do not know Trump. They don't know that when he is invited someplace, he does all the talking, and they try to talk over him. They're not going to win. They're not going to win this one.
Everybody wanted it. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, everybody wanted abortion brought back. They didn't want Roe v. Wade in the federal government. They wanted it. Everybody
But the
wanted
majority
it
of
back.
Americans oppose
Excuse me.
Roe v. Wade being overturned.
They
Multiple
don't know
polls have
about
showed that,
this.
sir.
Right now, they're voting. It brought it back to the states. Now, I happen to believe in the 3 exceptions. Ronald Reagan believed with rape, incest, life of the mother. I do. I think most people do. I think most Republicans do also. But if you take a look, right now they're doing, it's an amazing thing. Out of the federal government, it's in states, and people are voting. And I will say, Ohio is, let's call it a more liberal version, has been approved. Kansas, the same thing, a little bit surprising to a lot of people. But the people are now voting. And it's taking this issue that's been going on for 52 years and has torn our country apart, and it's giving it to the people to vote on. And they're voting. And many states have already voted. Others are in the process of voting. And it's bringing it back to the people and a vote of the people. And it's not at all radical. And again, you have to follow your heart. I happen to believe in the 3 exceptions. Most people believe in the 3 exceptions. Most Republicans believe in the exceptions. but they don't want to see an abortion in the 9th month or the 8th month. Almost everybody agrees to that. And they certainly don't want to see, in the case of the governor of Virginia, the former governor, I might add, who said, we set the baby aside and then we decide what to do. Meaning, what do? We execute the baby. That's a radical, horrible position. And some people want that. I don't.
That is about one of the most sick things I've ever heard in my entire life. That this baby comes into the world and then the government is going to make a decision or play God. Yeah,
You'll still be president at 82, which is older than Biden is right now.
But not mentally. Look, mentally.
Here's the question.
He's shot. But most people.
Would you consider?
Most people. I know many people in their 80s and their 90s that are in great shape. Some of our greatest leaders. You look at throughout the world history, the greatest leaders, some of the greatest leaders in the world were in their 80s.
But here's the question. Would you consider stepping down if you felt that your health was declining? Or would you?
Oh, absolutely.
And who would?
I think I'd know.
How would you make that decision?
I think I'd know. Look, if I came onto a stage like this and I got treated so rudely as this woman treated
Oh my goodness.
and I'm fine with it because she was very rude, sir. Very rude. That wasn't a question. She
Sir,
didn't ask
you
me
can
a
answer the
question.
question.
She gave a statement. That wasn't a question.
I repeated
You
your
can answer the
statement, sir,
question.
actually.
You said you would. You would.
Oh,
make that
absolutely.
decision
If I
to step
thought
down.
that I
my God, he is toying with these people. Obviously, they're all Democrats. I think two of them are at least. And I can't think of the other lady that's on the Fox News there, but they don't get it. They don't get them. This is really pathetic and it's funny.
because they're 75 or 85, I think anybody running, I'd like to do it. People say it's not constitutional. I would like to have something passed where you can do it. I think we should know. I mean, I've watched what's happened in the last couple of years under this gentleman, and our country is a mess. We have inflation. We have the millions of people falling in. We have Afghanistan, which was the worst, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. What he has done to our country, and her too, what they've done to our country, she has been a horrible vice president. She's considered the worst vice president in the history of our country.
Don't mean to interrupt you, but would you consider taking the cognitive test?
Mr. President,
Make it public.
Well, I've already taken 2 of them, but I'll do it again.
Mr.
I
President, how do you intend to?
I suggested, Harris, that let's take one. I said, Joe and I will go and take a cognitive test. Now, I'd do it with her too. I would do it with her also. You know what? She failed her law exam. She didn't pass her law exam, so maybe she wouldn't pass the cognitive test.
Mr. President,
Are you saying she wouldn't pass? Just to be clear,
I'm just giving you the facts.
you don't think
I'm
Harris
just
how do you intend, and
She
look,
didn't pass her bar exam, and she didn't think she would pass it, and she didn't think she was going to ever pass it. And I don't know what happened. Maybe she passed it. I
she
guess
did pass it.
There's a
She
man
did-
over
she
here. I
did in
think
fact
he
pass
must
it.
work.
Mr. President, I would love to ask you about January 6th. You called yourself the candidate of law and order. When Time Magazine asked you if you would consider pardoning all the rioters, you said, yes, absolutely.
Sure.
You called them patriots. 140 police officers were assaulted that day. Their injuries included broken bones. At least one officer lost an eye. One had 2 cracked ribs.
This is what I'm talking about. This is Chicago. This is a blue-pilled state. Thank God I'm not there anymore. But are there people waking up? I don't know if Colleen is still with us. But it must be very tough to live in California, Chicago, Philadelphia, or whatever. Let's see. This is Colleen's got a statement. This is great, but there will be a lot of people saying he's just lying. See, she's in the vicinity of Chicago, and I think even the way they have this set up, this stage, the camera, they were not organized, and I think it's got a lot to do with Mercury going retrograde. But look, the camera's got to move from him, and then you don't even see the other 2 or 3 people. I don't even know if there's 4 people there. Very bad camera guy. He's doing the best that he can. Their questions are just so blue-pilled. It's not even funny. They're still asking questions about J6. In the the black people asked for him to come there, to walk the streets with them. They need a leader. And then you've got these people in the forefront that are not doing the city of Chicago any justice by acting foolish. That's all that I can say. Yeah, MJ says it is the battleground state. Yeah, it is. Loris is saying, yeah, it's all Cook County, which we used to call Crook County. I lived in Cook County. Now that just goes to show you that Chicago is all of Cook County, and then they decided they want to annex it out to all the suburbs where I was at. I was 40 miles west of Chicago, and they still had me in parts of Cook County. If you wanted to buy a house, it was cheaper in Cook County because they taxed the hell out of everything. If you went outside of the Cook County into other counties, your taxes were higher for houses. Everything was much higher. They thought that they would keep people in the county. Well, guess what? People have left the state. This is one of the number one states where people are just leaving in droves. You can't even find a U-Haul truck there because people want to get the hell out of Chicago, which is very sad for the ones that are left behind. Colleen is saying she's in Will County, but it's just as bad here. I know what you're saying. And even some of my friends that I met down here that are from Illinois, I can tell we don't talk politics. I won't go there. I like them. I adore my new friends down here. But if the minute I think my husband may have said something about a Republican or a Democrat or something, I watch their faces change, and we can't do that. We have to take politics out of all of this shit because there isn't a red, there isn't a blue. It's humanity. It is what we believe. These people have blinders on. They can't see through the bullshit. Colleen is saying I'm 35 miles south of Chicago. Colleen, you live where my brother and all of his children live. They're all grown adults and all having their own families. I know exactly where you're at. And it is, and I just can't imagine, I just can't imagine. I'm glad I've been gone from there a total of 8 years for the 2 different states that I've lived in, and I'm happy. And I thank God that he picked me up and transported me to where I'm at. Lori is saying Cook needs to be its own state. A lot of people talk like that. They're in these blues. California wants to move away from the United States. If any of you take a look at the old maps, back in before they started messing with everybody and everything, we should be able to really define a lot of different things moving forward. And that's what I pray. That's what I pray for. We have our own shield of armor on, and we can pray anytime that we need something. The energies are very high right now. Let's just see what he has to say.
Under our feet than any other country, more than Saudi Arabia, more than Russia, more than any other country. I want to use it. I want to use what we have. I want to bring down prices, bring down costs, and I also have to stop the invasion. And remember, they're taking your jobs. These people coming in are taking your jobs.
Project 2025.
I think we have to leave it there by the Trump team.
All right.
So leave it. Well, that is the last word. Thank you so much, Mr. Trump, for coming today and joining us.
Whoa, they didn't like it. They cut him off. Woo! And look at his face. He's like, yeah, whatever. These people, what is it saying here? Northern California wants to split away. Yeah, definitely. And this is just crazy.
Well, thank you very much.
They've been telling us.
So fucking rude to him. Is this part of the movie? MJ, is this part of the movie? Are these people... this is where it gets blurred for me. We all say that it's just a movie, everything's being acted out, but are these people really believing what they're doing? Are these just actors in there? I'm trying to figure this out. I am really trying to figure this out.
Thank you, everybody, very much. Great honor.
Fight.
AJ will email about details regarding the conversation with Vice President Kamala Harris in September. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I'm trying to see where he's at. Wow, that was really, really bad. Thanks for whoever told me. This gentleman here was just saying, we need Trump to come to Chicago. And that's what happened.
The Democratic Party that Black America, Black Chicago has ever seen. Black America is about to rise up now that we are the mothers and fathers. We're saying Trump 2024 across America. And we ask Trump to come to Chicago, come here and walk these streets with us. And we'll put thousands behind him as he walks the streets. And that's a fact, that's a promise.
All right, you guys, this is where we're at. Colleen has got some thoughts. What do you guys think out there? I'm going to go over to Rumble Land and see what you got to say, what you have to say about this particular thing. Colleen says, I think it's staged. I'm really surprised he's there. Where was he? Harris, I always thought was in New York. So, you know, I know people have planes and they can fly and they can go anywhere that they want to. MJ Truther says, yep, 100%. It's a big part of the movie. They're calling out these, trying to show the ignorance, right, MJ? They're just trying to show the ignorance of some of these so-called reporters. I don't even know who they were. I never recognized them. I knew who Harris Faulkner was. You could tell by her voice; it's very distinctive. Let's see what we have out here. Bring Ulf says, why don't Trump just tell it like it is? We had a coup. Military Mom says, it's much easier. Okay, they're just talking among themselves. Let's see. MJ Truther has got some great information. My co-host here is great acting, central casting at its best. It has to be. If you guys don't know that this is, and it's so hard. It is just so hard. I being a Pisces, can get pulled into it, and then I got to shake myself out of it. Right? How many of you have to do that? You got to say, what the hell am I watching? Is, you know, it's on TV. So that whole program, you know, of the effing TV, you know, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's just a movie. They're acting it out. They've got to fill the time, right? They've got to fill the information. Now they're going into the blue states, right? And it's true. Philadelphia, they're going into the blue states. They've got to, this is called the reawakening or whatever you want to call it, right? Yorkie has a statement, most entertaining interviews he's done. Yes, it was very entertaining. MJ Truther says Harris won't go to Chicago because Trump's there. And, you know, not Harris Faulkner, but she's referring to Heels Up Harris, or what did MJ call her back? Something Couch. So we're talking about the lady that thinks she's black, but she doesn't know her nationality. All right, let's see there. What else do we have out here? New comment has come up. Let's just see here. It says, hey, Colleen, you're not too far from me. That's cool. There you go. There, you guys get together, meet up for each other. Lori, where are you? So I had a home for over 22 years in Schaumburg, Illinois. I love that home. And let's see, I did have other houses throughout northern Illinois. We were real close to the border of Wisconsin there. So anyways, Lori's get to know Colleen, and maybe you guys could, you know, have coffee or something and get to be friends out there. All right, you guys, an hour and a half on this. I was only planning to do a short show, and it just, like I said, I always have a plan, and then something else will take me in another direction, and I'm okay. I go with the flow here. Let's see here. Lori says, MJ is saying, couch cushion Harris. Couch cushion Harris. Oh, my God. Heels Up Harris is what I call her. Let's see. All right. So you guys talk among yourselves, find your friends, especially if you're in these blue states, you need someone to talk to. Colleen did reach out to me, by the way. She sent me an email. She sent me a picture of her and her children and her farm that she has out there. Gosh, that food looks so good that she's growing. Thank you so much. And so when I read her energy, all that I got was how sweet Colleen is. I saw it was just, you know, very, I would be friends with you, Colleen. I know I definitely would. And if I ever go back to visit any of my brother's kids, I will reach out to you and let you know. All right, everybody, please take care. I love each and every one of you. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're fighting any which way we can. And I'll see you guys real soon. And now we turn the page.